Hi friends, welcome to General Surgery Medicine. Now we'll be discussing on a very important topic, that is undescended testes. We'll be proceeding in this topic in the following manner, that is embryology followed by testicular descent, certain definitions, and finally management of undescended testes. For better understanding of the descent of testes, let us look into some basic embryology. As you can see, this picture shows the developing foregut, hindgut, allantois of an embryo. You can also see the developing genital ridge on both sides. What is important here is the gonadal tissue present in the genital ridge starts to differentiate into testes during the 6th and 7th intrauterine life under the influence of testis determining gene called SRY gene. Later there is development of seminiferous tubule with two cells, that is Sertoli cells located within the seminiferous tubule and Leydig cells located outside it. The Sertoli cells produce Mullerian inhibiting factor which will inhibit the Mullerian duct structures. Similarly, the Leydig cells will produce testosterone which will cause development of Wolffian structures such as epididymis and vas deferens. This happens by 9th week of intrauterine life. From 7th to 9th month, testis descends from inguinal canal to scrotum. With this basic embryology, let us look into the factors that are affecting the descent of testis. Coming to testicular descent, it is basically due to gubernaculum, which is nothing but an mucofibrous structure attaching the testis to the base of scrotum, and it helps in the descent of testis to the scrotum. It is basically divided into two phases, transabdominal and transinguinal migration. The descent from retroperitoneum up to deep inguinal ring is transabdominal descent, which classically occurs during the 8 to 15 weeks, and the descent from deep inguinal ring to base of scrotum is transinguinal migration, which occurs during 28 to 35 weeks. The transabdominal descent is classically due to two features, that is due to regression of cranial suspensory ligament and secondly due to thickening of gubernaculum. This is under the influence of INSL3 or insulin-like growth factor 3. Inguinoscrotal migration is classically due to androgenic control. It is due to the release of CGRP, otherwise known as calcium gene-related peptide. Coming to certain important definitions, first one is cryptorchid testis. It is nothing but a condition in which one or both testes fail to descend into the scrotum before birth. It is usually in the common path of descent, and the most common position in which it is identified is in the inguinal canal. Ectopic testis is aberrant path of descent. The testis will not be in the normal path of descent. That is, it can be in the perineal region, can be in femoral canal, it can also be in suprapubic regions. Retractile testis is nothing but normally descended testis that retracts into the inguinal canal. It is postulated due to hyperreflexive cremasteric muscle. Gliding testis is a testis which can be manipulated into the upper scrotum, but it retracts back when released. Emergent or peeping testis, it is an intracanaliculair testis which is usually not palpable because of overlying musculature. Coming to complications of undescended testis, the most common one is infertility followed by malignancy. There is high risk of turning into seminoma. Other minor complications are torsion and trauma. Undescended testes can be diagnosed most of the time with careful history and physical examination. Certain investigations such as ultrasound and when the testis is not palpable unilaterally, diagnostic laparoscopy is also recommended. The recommended time for surgery is 6 months to 1 year. Coming to management of undescended testes, there is an algorithm. First of all, it is basically divided into unilateral non-palpable or bilateral non-palpable testes. Based on this, the treatment pattern will differ. First, we'll discuss about unilateral non-palpable testes. It is advisable to do diagnostic laparoscopy at first, and based on that, if there is blind ending vessels, it is diagnosed as monarchia and no further action or exercise is a remnant. If vessels are seen exiting the internal ring, then further internal inguinal exploration is recommended, and depending on that, orchidopexy can be done or orchidectomy can be done if it is found to be not viable. Just monarchia and no further action or exercise is a remnant. If vessels are seen exiting the internal ring, then further internal inguinal exploration is recommended, and depending on that, orchidopexy can be done or orchidectomy can be done if it is found to be not viable. If laparoscopy revealed an intra-abdominal testis, then you can proceed with either orchidopexy or orchidectomy or Fowler-Stephens orchidopexy, which is a two-stage operation in which testicular vessels are ligated at first stage to allow the contralateral circulation to develop, and after 6 months, orchidopexy is done. Coming to bilateral non-palpable testis, initially beta-HCG stimulation test is done, and when there is no response to this test, it is diagnosed as anarchia and no further management. When there is increased testosterone to this test, it is suggestive that the testis is somewhere and further laparoscopy and exploration is needed. Thus, this shows the gist of entire undescended testis management. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.